After being married to Victoria, going on 30 years now, I would hate to have to tell you that y'all should clap better than that. Me having to put up with her for 30 years, but I'm ruining my message now. I got to tame my tongue, but anyway. But after being married to her, going on 30 years, I would hate to have to tell you she's not as happy as before we met. She's not as confident, not as secure, not as fulfilled. The problem is that wouldn't be her fault, it would be my fault. As her husband, as her covering, it's my responsibility to keep her encouraged, to keep her strong, to keep her fulfilled, to keep her passionate about life. The scripture says the wife is a reflection of the husband's glory. If your wife is not shining, if you're harsh, condemning, sarcastic, it's not only making her look bad, it's making you look bad. And for some people, when they have to give an account, it'll be a sad day. God will look at their spouse, their children, their friends, and all He'll see is wounds, cut up from sarcasm, cut up from disrespect, cut up from condescending remarks. Don't let that be you. Use your words to bless people. Use your words to build them up and make them feel better about themselves. And in relationships, we all have conflicts, things that we don't like. I'm not saying you should never have a disagreement, no tension, no stress. I'm saying in the heat of the moment, step back and don't make hurtful comments. That damages relationships. Well, Joel, if my spouse wouldn't push my buttons, then I wouldn't say things I know I shouldn't. If my kids would just straighten up, if these coworkers wouldn't get on my nerves, then I wouldn't be so disrespectful. These are tests that we have to pass. The people in your life are never going to be perfect. You have to learn to tame your tongue. That means you don't say everything you feel. You may think it, but you're disciplined enough to zip it up. Maybe your boss is rude to you. You're about to let him have it. Tell him what you think. Here's the problem. He's the boss and you're not. After you speak out of your emotions, after you give him a piece of your mind, you'll be on a high for about 10 minutes, feeling good, giving high fives. Then you'll realize he still has his job and I don't. It's much better to tame your tongue. Then you won't have to live in regrets, thinking, oh man, why did I say that? What was I thinking? Love makes allowances for people's weaknesses. Love overlooks a wrong that was done to it. You have to rise above these petty things that are pulling you apart. Give people room to have a bad day every once in a while. If they're rude, don't sink down to that level. Be an eagle and rise above it. Life is too short to live at odds, contentious, arguing about things that don't matter. Some people have to have the last word in every argument. They're so hard-headed, they'll argue for 27 days just to have that final word. Let it go. You have a destiny to fulfill. You have an assignment to accomplish. Those are distractions trying to pull you off course. Don't waste your valuable time and energy on something that's not moving you toward your purpose. If you argue long enough, you'll end up saying something you'll regret later. A 10-minute argument can set a relationship back 10 years. You have to learn to walk away. You're not going to accomplish anything positive in a heated, disrespectful situation. Let them have the last word and you keep your peace. You keep your joy.